Hello, and welcome to What We Wrote. I am Emma.
And I am Esme.
And we are two friends who have been writing together for decades. In this podcast, we go back and read some of our terrible teen writing in all of its angsty and melodramatic glory.
Mm-hmm.
And we are on to the second book.
Yeah, and we started strong.
We started strong.
With our melodramatic and our angst.
Yes, we did.
Melodrama.
We have our scrappy, smirky street urchin Vari.
She's sassy.
She's sassy.
Yeah.
Thinks she's funny.
She thinks she's funny.
Yep. And then we have Cori, our royal bastard.
Our royal bastard, who is the angsty part of
Yes, so supplying the angst already.
angst. Yeah.
Although, to be fair, I think given where we started this chapter, it wasn't probably as angsty as it could have been. Like, she was a bit like, oh, everything has changed. Oh, it's such a shock. But she wasn't really like, sitting in the corner weeping kind of thing.
No,
She's
well, that wouldn't move the plot along.
True. And there seems to be some movement on the plot front.
Yeah, we're laying seeds, we're alluding to this war.
Yeah, the secret war.
Yeah, we're setting up characters.
Yes.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Kind of interweaving things a little bit more.
Yeah.
And 2 chapters in, our characters have spoken to each other.
Yeah,
Which is really, astounding.
Astounding, yeah. It's light years ahead of
Yes.
Living to Die.
And, I mean, possibly one might say too fast.
Yes.
They've gone overcorrected.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're really, we're not hanging around
No, we're not.
with this, but, it's something's happening. Vari's on stable duty for her crimes of murdering the baker's dog.
I've just noticed something. I've dated this drawing.
Oh, have you?
It's 06.
06?
Maybe we
Did we not write
waited
anything?
a whole year.
That can't be right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Why would we have done that?
I don't know. Just as when I date my drawings. Something I still do to this day.
Interesting. Okay, so we only wrote this for 3 years.
Yeah, slightly better.
Slightly better.
Yeah.
Slightly better. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder why we didn't start anything.
Well, I feel like maybe we finished Living to Die later than we thought. So maybe we finished Living to Die like middle to end of 05. Took a break because we're probably writing our own stuff and then started this in the new year maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't really remember.
No, clearly. Anyway,
all right.
Well, I just saw that in the corner. I was like, oh,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
so now we have a rough start date. We have a start year.
we have a start year.
Yeah.
Or sometime in 06.
Yeah.
Which, how old will we be in 06?
15.
15. Yeah. Okay.
Which makes sense because they're 18. So again, they're
Yeah. Again, we've aged them up a little bit. Yeah. Important we never write characters our own age.
Okay. All right.
All right, ready?
Dooby-dooby-doo. Musical interlude.
Musical interlude.
All right. Chapter 3. Vari. Although I wouldn't admit it to anyone, I was sore. It was my last night here. I would be free tomorrow evening. Oh,
we've just skipped
the
the
whole
whole
week.
thing. Okay.
So we don't get to hear the end of
That conversation? Our 2 main characters talking to each other?
Meeting each other for the first time?
Meeting each other for the first time?
Nope.
We're just going
We
to left
don't need to see that. Also, I find it... Yeah, anyway.
No, go ahead.
No, I'll just... Yeah. Here we are. I would be free tomorrow evening. I ached in places I didn't even know existed. I sat stock still, my back erect, stiff against the stone-cold jail cell.
Oh, she's back in the cell, is she?
She must sleep in the cell.
Oh, okay. And just be let out during the day to do her hard labour.
Hard labour, yeah.
Mucking stalls.
Sure.
Okay.
Also, I've insisted on spelling jail the Australian way, which no one actually uses.
No.
Even people in Australia don't use it.
No. It's very colonial.
Yeah. I clenched my teeth and set my jaw, breathing through my nose heavily, trying to release the pain.
God, she really is sore.
Yeah.
That seems like excessive for like some doms.
I mean, I think this is... So I used to get pretty bad back pain even from a young age, and this reminds me of that.
Right.
So I feel like I'm drawing from experience. It wasn't the work that made like this.
Made you like this?
Yeah. The least damage the work had caused was maybe sore shoulders from moving the many bales of hay. I think I meant the most damage.
I was going to say, what are you getting at here?
Yeah. No, it wasn't the work that caused this. It was the guards. It was still fresh in my mind, just as the pain.
Okay, being beaten by the guards, are you?
Maybe. Now, Red, said one of the guards, grabbing the back of my hair and pulling my head painfully back. I may be strong for my wiry build, but I was no match against the giant strength of the guards. That wasn't a very nice now, was it?
What did she do?
I don't know. We're coming in situ. Maybe a
is this like a...
It's a flashback,
Oh,
I think. Yeah,
okay,
sorry,
okay,
it was
okay.
a dot.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That this was happening. Like, she's sitting there, like, trying to ease her back pain, and this guy's just come up and gone, that was very nice, Red.
There was a
Yank.
dot. So I think we're
Right.
going back.
Okay. We're flashing back.
Yeah,
That makes more
flashing
sense.
back. That wasn't a very nice now, was it? Said the other guide, standing in front of me. I breathed heavily through my teeth as the muscles all through my back and legs screamed in protest. You deserved it, you rotten pack of mongrels, I growled, struggling against the grip.
Really likes mongrels as
Yeah.
an insult.
Yeah. The guard in front of me chuckled and took a step closer, groping up my tunic.
Ew.
Yeah. You're a bit feisty, eh, Red? He said with a smirk. The guard behind me laughed stupidly. The other guard stepped closer again, throwing my weight against the guard behind me. I thrust my knee in the groin of my front attacker. He let out a loud groan, holding himself as he fell to his knees.
Okay. That was something.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The guard released his grip on me finally in surprise as his comrade fell to the ground. I staggered but quickly regained my balance as the guard, still standing, lunged at me. He slammed me painfully against the wall and I gasped for breath as the sheer force of the impact pushed the breath out of me. We seem to be...
Very repetitive.
Yeah, we get it. Vari gets beaten up a lot, I guess. He drew back a fist and released it into my thigh.
Ow.
It's an odd thing to hit, but sure. I grunted as the pain shot down my leg, numbing it. I found whenever I tried to put weight on it, it gave way. I hastily dodged a fist to the head and threw my own. I hit him, but my small fist barely made a bruise. I knew then I had to outwit him because she's smart,
Because she's
clever.
smart. See,
She's cunning.
She's cunning.
Yeah.
I feel like the palace guards probably wouldn't be getting away with that kind of like just beating up a prisoner for no reason. Like, I don't know. And also, why didn't you tell us this as it happened? Why are we getting this information in a flashback? I feel like it would have more impact. Because the thing is, we know she's going to be fine.
Yes.
Because she's fine. She's got a sore back, but she's okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, any tension in this fight scene is gone. Because we know it's happened in the past and she's okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're not afraid that she's going to get killed or like, seriously injured, because we know that she doesn't. So it's like...
Yep. Just as he drew back another fist, I swung my leg out behind him and kicked him as hard as I could behind the knees. The guard cried out in surprise, and as he fell down, I took a blow to the stomach. I doubled over in pain once again, struggling for breath.
Took a blow to the stomach from what?
I think he hit me on his way down.
That's very clever.
Well, he's a guard, so he's kind of built for combat.
I guess.
Trained for combat, anyway.
Yeah.
The guard slowly stood up. His pale face with rage. Red with rage,
Oh, okay.
I think.
Yep.
I've crossed it out, but it makes more sense if I leave it in there.
Yeah. Yes.
I've also edited in green pen.
Oh, in green pen.
Yeah.
Oh.
I missed that one though.
Yeah.
I straightened against the wall, my green eyes glaring up at him. I was brought sharply out of my reverie by a bright beam of light. Did you get abducted by aliens? What is with this lights business?
You're obsessed with light.
I raised...
we have no idea what time of day it is.
No, because it could be the moon.
It could be the moon.
It could be a bright beam of moonbeam.
I don't think we even know where she is.
She's in the jail cell.
No. Like, she's in the jail cell now, but in the flashback, was she...
No, she's out of the reverie now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The reverie, the flashback
bright beam
is
of
what
light
was...
brought her out of the reverie.
Okay, so she's in the jail cell.
Yeah.
Okay.
I raised my eyebrow, looking up to the stairwell, curious as to see who else were to abuse me.
Okay, yeah.
I couldn't see their face as he or she, I think I've scribbled out their S.
So he?
A he, I guess, as he walked down the stairs, the shadow concealing her face from me. I'm having trouble with the pronouns.
Trouble with your pronouns. I don't know what's going on. I feel like maybe... Oh no, maybe not. I don't know. I was gonna say maybe this is our like other male hero.
No, I suspect it's Cori.
Oh yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
it could be.
I mean, it would make sense if it was the other main character of the book.
It would make sense.
You know, we haven't had anything to do with each other apparently, apart from saying
one
hi.
Random conversation.
A week ago,
yeah. Have we spoken since? Who knows?
Who knows?
We sure don't.
Yes, I couldn't see their face. As he walked down the stairs, the shadow concealing her face from me. I tilted my head slightly to try to see who it was. I clenched my jaw as a sudden pain shot from my neck, all the way down my back. I grunted softly and turned away, staring back at the wall. Vari? Came a soft voice.
Yeah, this is probably Cori.
I didn't react, knowing that if I moved, I'd hurt. I stared blankly at the wall, battling with my mind.
I mean... You don't have to move to like acknowledge that somebody has spoken to you.
Yes.
You could just say, like, hi, yes,
me,
hello, anything, like
anything
that doesn't involve, moving your head or your neck or any of that kind of thing. So you don't have to just sit there being blank.
Yeah. There was a soft chink and the door to my bar cell swung open.
Okay. Your bar cell.
The Queen's daughter stepped into my gaze.
How do you know she's the Queen's daughter?
That. No.
And given it's something Cori has just found out, it feels like that's not information she would give to some random
in the stables,
some random criminal in the stables. Like,
yeah, I don't think I knew that yet.
No, I don't think you knew that either.
Anyway, the Queen's daughter stepped into my gaze, a look of concern across her fine features as she crouched down to eye level with me. "Aye, dizzy again," I stated flatly, recognizing Corian's distinct face.
Distinct face? What does
that mean? It feels like an insult.
It does a bit feel like an insult. You could just say you recognized her.
Unique.
Yes, you're distinctive.
Yeah.
What a distinct face you have. You could have just said you recognized her.
Yeah. Interesting. Corian nodded and smiled, putting a bag down at my feet.
Also, I think, didn't she say, "Call me Cori"?
Yeah, but I'm not going to call her Cori. Because
I feel like Vari has a bit of a chip on her shoulder.
Fuck yeah, major chip. She's lost her shoulder. Her arm is just hanging off by a shred. There's no shoulder to be had.
It's a very hard done by vibe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, ooh, everything's there.
Yeah. The world's against me.
Yeah. It's not attractive.
No.
I like it.
Corian nodded and smiled, putting a bag down at my feet. I raised my eyebrow at it, then looked skeptically back at her. "The nurse is full and ill, ironically, so the Queen sent me to tend to whatever is wrong with you," she said, smiling at me.
Whatever's wrong with you.
Whatever's wrong with you.
The list is long.
She said, smiling at me, opening the bag and sifting through the contents.
What qualifies this girl to replace the nurse is what I want to know.
Who knows?
She's a stable hand, she's a bastard, she's a list of...
She's a nurse.
Got everything.
Nay, I'm fine. Leave me be, I mumbled incoherently.
That was
Sitting
perfectly
up.
coherent.
Yeah. I must have winced as Corian rolled her eyes at me and sighed. Why not? Stop acting like a hero, she scolded me. Definitely not a hero.
No.
As she soaked a cloth in a liquid that smelt strongly of alcohol. Stop acting like a bastard.
Oh, ouch! That was uncalled for.
Very. Oh, hang on, I see. Stop acting like a bastard. You wouldn't want your little secret out in the open now, would you?
Oh.
So she knows somehow.
She knows.
We don't know how.
Interesting.
I retorted with a grin.
Also, does Vari have like open wounds or something?
Oh, I suppose you should be. Now she'll have a split lip and shit like that, I guess.
Yeah, I just feel like that would have been something worth mentioning, perhaps.
Sure.
You know, if we're doing the whole like gently tends your wounds kind of thing, you'd think that maybe you would mention that there were open wounds, because if she's just hurt her back, then the alcohol wipes is not going to help.
No.
Unless she's going to smother her.
Well, we all know that tickled me fancy back then, apparently, so...
It's like, I know you know my secret. Die.
Yeah, die now. Yep. So I retorted with a grin. Corian slipped, her hand knocking over the bottle of alcohol and sending it splashing over a large gash in my shin. I grunted as it stung briskly. Stung briskly?
She's got
Enough
bare...
with the adverbs.
Yeah, I know. There's so many. Also, is she wearing shorts or something? Why is it?
Well, maybe whatever it was, like cut through her pants or something.
Yeah, maybe. Just imagining her sitting there with her bare legs hanging out, like.
I grunted as it stung briskly and cried out as I winced, as my ribs gave a sharp jab. Oh, ribs hurt now too.
God.
Grasping my side. Gosh, she's fucking blue.
She gasped, she winced, she flinched.
I grunted softly once more. My eyes closed.
Watch out for that tree! Oh boy.
I grunted softly once more, my eyes closed as I slowly reset myself to my previous position, teeth tightly clenched.
What a reaction.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I'm listening to Paradise by Vanessa Colton.
Oh, there you go.
Serves you right, Corian said tartly, resetting the bottle and continuing to clean my many cuts. I snarled grumpily at her, but let her continue on. She brought out a small carved wooden box. I eyed the box suspiciously as she opened it. She drew out a fat black leech.
Ew.
My eyes widened as she brought it near me, and had I been able to move, I would have knocked the leech from Corian's hand. As it were, all I could do was swear. Hell no, piss off. By the sweet sons of our God, you are not putting that on me. To my relief, she rocked back on her haunches again, rolling her eyes. Must you speak like that? You'll be called for a hanging, and you can't get away with saying you've already been hung, she said.
And also, I don't think they hang people for swearing.
No! Blasphemer! I glanced at her, my green eyes as angry as my fiery red hair.
Alright, we get it.
Sure.
You've got red hair.
And green eyes.
And green eyes. I feel like maybe you're overcompensating a little.
Yeah, she's got red hair and green eyes. Red hair and green eyes.
We really need to
Did you know?
She's got red hair.
She's got red hair and green
Which,
eyes.
again, you're in first person.
Mm.
You
don't think of your own red hair and green eyes.
Think of your own eyes.
No.
Like, I can tell you.
No, if I'm looking at someone, I don't go, I'm looking at them with my hazel eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, how often in a day do I think my eyes are brown?
Yeah,
I don't.
No. Before I could do anything, Corian leapt forward onto me.
Ew.
Oh, that's right, she's got the leech. I cried out in pain and surprise as I struggled beneath her. Finally, I managed to push her off with a swift uppercut to the jaw.
Ow!
Damn!
My character's so
Brutal.
aggressive.
Damn!
That wasn't even a slap, that was a full-on
That was
punch.
a punch. Corian jumped back, astonished. What was that for? She asked.
You just tackle her.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, like you did own that.
You did kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Rubbing her chin reproachfully. My eyes widened, and I took a deep breath as I slowly sat up off the wall. What was that for? I shouted, swinging my arms at her. I subsided, leaning back into the wall, panting slightly, never taking my eyes off Corianne. If looks could have killed, she would have dropped dead then.
Okay.
This is a little bit like enemies to lovers kind of thing.
Yeah, I get the vibes here.
Yeah.
Especially the whole like gently cleaning the wounds and you know, tackling each other.
We've got goddess equals Toria up the top here.
Okay.
So I wonder if that's our goddess.
Toria.
Also, I was writing this in science because who needs to pay attention?
Yeah, science is easy.
Yeah. I saw the corners of her mouth twitch up and her eyes drifted to my upper arm. I frowned cautiously at her before slowly turning my head to follow her gaze. Yeah.
Obviously.
Duh. I grated my teeth together and exhaled slowly as I saw the large slug on my arm. I could see the slow ooze of blood and feel it slowly trickling down my arm. I turned back to her, contemplating on whether to kill her or not. So, bloodthirsty.
Cori is so bloodthirsty. So Cori seems to have just whacked this leech on wherever.
I assume it's on a bruise.
I mean, maybe, but like she tackled her, so maybe she just stuck it wherever she could reach.
Yeah,
just not really how leeches work. It's got to be on the bruise.
On the bruise.
And I think it only works if they're really fresh as well. Right?
Yes, it helps with swelling. So
Yeah.
It's supposed to reduce swelling.
Yeah, because like after the blood has like dried up,
Yeah.
the leech isn't going to do anything about it. So like,
well, there's not going to be any like fresh blood replacing it. Yeah. I grated. No, I just said that.
You're killing her.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely proportionate to the crime. Here.
Absolutely. Trust me, it helps with the bruises, Corianne said softly. I stared at her for a while, not replying to her, my green eyes staring into her brown ones.
Oh my god.
Although I wasn't sure what colour yours were, so I just left a note.
But I actually filled in.
You've gone back and filled in. Also, in the margins here, you've written, "I'm in the shadows of your mind."
Oh, well, that's what I was listening to when I read it, obviously. Shout out Phantom.
I grunted. This is
so Scottish. It's so Scottish.
Outlander.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. I grunted. Trust you, I repeated. Corianne nodded and leant forward, dabbing some foul-smelling ointment on my many cuts and sores.
You said that already.
At first, it tingled happily.
Happy tingles.
Happy tingles. But the nice sensation quickly jumped to a painful sting.
That's not usually how it works.
No, it's usually the other way around.
Stings first.
Yeah,
and then kind of settles down.
Yeah. Maybe it's magic.
Sure.
My whole leg felt like it was on fire. I screwed up my face. Talk to me. It'll distract you. Oh, hang on. Who's saying this? Talk to me. It'll distract you a bit, offered Corianne. About what? I grunted. Corianne shrugged. Anything you want, suggested Corianne. I sighed, trying to think of something. I didn't think it would stop the pain, but a sharp stab in my ribs forced me to try it.
Okay. Oh no. What have you done?
Oh no.
Oh no.
So this is basically plagiarism, I feel.
Oh no.
These are lyrics.
Oh no.
Pretty much, but I've put them into dialogue, essentially. It's once upon a year gone by, I saw myself give in. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw what could have been.
What? Why would she say that?
Why, indeed. I just really like those lyrics.
Right, but like, you've not even paraphrased them.
No.
It still rhymes. Which, why would she start speaking in rhyming couplets?
Funny, when the bottom drops out, I forget to fight. I snorted once in laughter, a small smirk on my face.
I don't understand.
I just liked the lyrics and I thought it fit.
It
doesn't.
It doesn't though. It doesn't
This is
at all.
extremely embarrassing.
That's up there with possibly one of the cringiest things that has happened in this podcast.
Yeah.
His writing does.
I do apologise. I do not own that. I'm not claiming that as my own. It's from a Vanessa Carlton song.
maybe this is why you shouldn't listen to music
Yeah.
and lyrics while you're
Yes.
writing. You're like, oh, I like
I
that.
was gonna write it in here.
Oh god. Oh boy.
Cori gestured me.
At you?
No, she gestured me. Oh, I'm still going.
Oh no. Why are you singing at her?
I'm not though. I don't want to say it. Can I just skip it?
No.
It's so embarrassing. Oh my god.
No, I need to hear it. I need to hear it.
And it's funny because she's not even saying it with her accent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I desperately need to know what you were thinking. It is
so embarrassing! Oh my god, it's the most embarrassing thing about since we started this stupid podcast. Change my mind, I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay, if I had to sit through you reading my stupid Power of Four poem like 8 times, you can do this.
Fair enough. As darkness quickly steals my light, I swallow all my fear and soothe my mind with lies. All I want and all I need are reasons to survive. One more day in paradise. One last chance to feel alright.
What is... I'm just trying to imagine Corey's response here, just being like...
Damn, this girl's been hit in the head one too many times.
Like, okay, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, I meant like, what you
Tell me a
colour.
story, or
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
how'd you get here?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't expect you to start quoting poetry at me.
Yeah, maybe she's quoting poetry. Maybe she's not saying it to herself.
Surely it must. Surely you must be thinking like, oh, this is like a snippet of a poem or something.
I didn't say it though.
No, but like, if you haven't written it in her accent, like, surely you have to be acknowledging that it's not her words.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know.
I don't know. My voice slowly drifted off, and I stared down at the floor. I sighed deeply and closed my eyes, shaking my head. I laughed a couple of times, wincing slightly.
Okay, so you are psychotic as Jane. Like, I'm so sad.
Yeah. Also, that's the end of the chapter.
Oh. What?
Yeah. So I laughed a couple of times, wincing slightly. End of chapter.
What the fuck? That's not... Why are we so bad at ending chapters? You can't just stop writing and be like,
oh, it's done now.
chapter.
Oh, gone. No
It's
more.
done. I mean, that's as bad as me ending the chapter before in the middle of a conversation.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, it's like we're trying to do like cliffhangers, but we're just like, we're just throwing it off the cliff. We're not really hanging on.
I mean, it won't be so, like, it won't be so bad if Corey's next chapter picks up at the same spot, but if it just does it. Again, we're very much doing the thing where it's like, sick of this conversation, bye.
And then the other person isn't picking it up.
Yeah. I wonder if that's intentional.
Yeah, and I don't know whether this is like, it seems to me, I think that was me writing Cori a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's not as obvious if we are writing each other's chapters. But yeah, that's
it just ends.
It just stops. Well, I can't get over like. You fucking joker. I want to know why you think people laugh like that.
I don't know what to do.
Because it's becoming a habit.
Just like you're
going to just giggle randomly, and it's a little creepy.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, well, I guess let's find out.
Move on.
What happens.
Let's see what happens next.
Yep. Musical interlude. Okay. Chapter 4, Corian. And I was listening to Vari, track 6, which was Cirque du Soleil, yeah. And I feel like I can almost hear that track. Like it's I must have listened to it a lot. I think it was one of my favorites.
Right.
One of my favorites. Anyway, let's see how we go here. Vari was let out of jail the next morning. So, moving on. I wonder if you were like, I don't know how Cori would respond to that outburst, and so you just were just like, well,
and you were just like, I don't know either.
I don't know either,
and
because that was insane.
Yeah.
So moving right along. Oh no, here we go. I wasn't entirely sure what to make of our encounter that afternoon, or what really to make of Vari at all. For some reason, she intrigued me.
Did you spell it right?
No, but you corrected me.
We should count these. So that's the second use of intrigue. Hang on, I'm just going to create a little thingy here. Intrigue.
Now you're getting your revenge.
Intrigue. So we're up to 2.
Up to 2.
A little tally going.
For some reason, she intrigued me, made me think. There was something different about her.
She's psychotic.
Yeah, because she's insane.
She needs to be locked up.
She
She needs to be a straitjacket.
She's a nutcase.
She's a danger to herself and to others.
Yes. Something in the sharpness of her tongue, her piercing gaze, some slight thing that hinted at the girl inside, the part of her that the street life had left untouched.
Oh, that's very pretty.
This is very romantic.
Yes, I was thinking that. Very enemies to lovers. Interesting.
Yeah, we're really leaning into the... I think that we're trying to go for, like, you know, they're BFFs. They're going to be best friends forever.
BFFs, yeah, sure.
But it does feel a little romantic.
Yes.
At this juncture.
Yes, it does.
Love at first sight. I stood on the wall and watched her leave the castle, red hair a beacon in the grey mist that blanketed the city. I looked down.
She's just gone.
She's just gone. Yeah, she's
So
left.
Bye. Weeks out.
Yeah. A whole week that we had her locked in the castle.
That we could have been getting to know each other.
Getting to know each other. Yeah.
No,
She's gone. Don't care about that. Watched her leave the castle, red hair, a beacon in the grey mist that blanketed the city. I looked down, watched her progress, watched her walk out of my life.
Damn.
Yep. I didn't know her well, nor had I known her for very long, but I felt that maybe we could have been friends.
Okay. Sure. I think she kind of hated you, but
It certainly seemed that way.
Yeah.
I get the feeling maybe Cori's a little lonely.
Little desperate.
Maybe she doesn't have any friends.
Nope.
The whole world seems sort of sad when the weather's like this. A quiet male voice cut across my thoughts like a knife, and I started, spinning on my heel, to find myself staring into the most stunning pair of blue eyes I'd ever seen.
Oh my goodness. So it was a quiet voice, but it like cut through the air like a knife.
Cut through the air like a knife, and she spun around, and then stunning blue eyes.
Stunning blue eyes.
Stunning
I wonder
blue eyes.
who it is.
I'm really starting to see my comma problem coming through here.
Yeah.
Like it's really, I think it's noticeably increased since Living to Die.
Yeah, it has.
Like, there's already some doozy sentences here.
Who needs 2 sentences when you can have
When
one?
you
really
can have
long
one. Yeah. They were partially hidden by a shaggy black fringe and set in a handsome face. His nose was longish, his cheekbones high and chiseled. There was a faint smile on his wide mouth, and his black brows rose slightly. Half a head taller than me, he wore a loose, open-necked tunic, breeches, and tall boots.
So, is Cori tall?
Don't know. No idea.
I wonder if he's a short king.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
At this point in my life, I was not about short kings. I suspect he's probably tall. I recognized him from somewhere, though I couldn't quite place him. I'm sorry, he nodded slightly. I didn't mean to interrupt you. With a quick smile, he turned and hurried down the stairs.
Oh.
It's gone.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's the end of that encounter.
He walked all the way up to the wall, said, "Seems sad. Sorry, bye," and left. She didn't even say anything to him. She just stood there going,
Okay.
All right. With a quick smile, he turned and hurried down the stairs. By the time I looked back, Vari was gone, and the sun was just starting to turn the mist to liquid silver. So she was just like, "Oh, where's Vari?" absolutely not reflecting on the strange encounter with the weird boy.
With the weird pretty boy that you
Weird pretty boy with blue eyes
Yeah.
and shaggy black fringe. I was just about to turn away, go back down to the stables, when I caught the sound of galloping hooves coming up the causeway. What's the causeway now? I turned back to the parapet, just in time to see another messenger thunder out of the mist into the gate. Through the gate? I think I meant through the gate, not into the gate. Oh, hang on. Oh no, maybe not. I don't know. This guy seems to be getting a lot of description.
Yeah, I suspect it's him.
His mount was glossy black and sturdily built, and his hair, as far as I could see, was brown.
Oh no, it's not him.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But I was like, why are we describing this random messenger in such detail if he's not important?
That is what you do. You just describe shit though. Like, you're a peak describer. And I don't.
Sure. But like, I don't know. That seems weird to me. I sighed and then turned, walking slowly down the stairs to the courtyard.
I like how, consistently, both you and me are just like, huh, look at that.
Yeah, no further thoughts or considerations on this matter. Just, okay, all right, that happened.
Sure.
I'm also, like, I'm kind of confused about the layout of this castle. Because, like, a causeway implies, like, raised, a bridge, or maybe...
Well, there's a drawbridge.
There's a drawbridge into the keep, I think. But so I imagine, okay, so we've got a keep, and then we've got a citadel around, like a city around it.
Yeah.
Which, if it's a citadel, probably has a wall around it.
Yeah.
But Cori mentioned the drawbridge when she was up at the stables, which means it can't be a drawbridge into the city proper, because that'd be miles away.
Right.
So there's got to be a drawbridge into the keep.
Right.
So where'd the causeway go? If it's on a cliff. Because we've also established that the citadel is not a cliff. Near a river. Also near the ocean. I mean, I don't think we thought about it either, but I'm kind of like I'm naturally, as you do when you read something, trying to picture what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Maybe the causeway runs through the city?
Yeah. Maybe.
Like a raised highway through the,
yeah.
through the middle of the city. Maybe. Anyway, okay. And then we have dispensed with the stars.
Oh.
We have little waves.
Oh, wavy lines.
Little wavy lines instead.
What are they called? I wonder if they have a name.
They do have a name.
Yeah.
The ones on the keyboard above the...
What are they called? Hang on.
They've got a really silly name.
Wavy line name.
Like
a tilde.
A tilde. Yes, that's it. Yes, so we've got a 3 tilde break, which I assume tracks to a 3-star break.
Yes.
It was getting dark as I left the castle, going on foot to save the horses.
To not use them.
It was like, save them from what? You haven't told us there's anything dangerous.
Horse riding cowboy.
Yes, that is the term that I was using it in, but I was like, save the horses from what? I was heading down to the blacksmith's to give Gary his payment for shoeing the horses of the keep and the other bits and pieces of metalwork that we used. The shadows deepened as I slipped quietly through the darkening streets, following my memory. I mean, you've been there before.
That's why she's following her memory.
Following a memory.
Yeah.
But that seems like a complicated way to say, like,
I knew
where
my
we're
way.
going.
Yeah.
I carried a heavy purse at my belt, hidden under the folds of my cloak, the amount of gold I was carrying making me somewhat nervous.
Yes, I absolutely send the Queen's daughter to do that.
Well, she's a stable hand.
At twilight.
She's literally a stable hand.
Yeah.
If I was robbed or lost the money, I didn't think my return to the castle would be much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, yes. What have I written up here? And everywhere I turned, there was only yearning. Long ago and far away, I walked the forest wild, and when I reached the highest mountain, swam the 7 seas. That sounds like song lyrics. I can't think what it's
That's
from.
not in the story, is that?
No, it's on the top margin.
Can we pause for a second? I need to go. I'm actually just going to pause the recording up here.
So I think I actually read that backwards. Now I'm looking at it. My weird little quote in the margin here. So I think it's long ago and far away, I walked the forest wild, and when I reached the highest mountain, swam the 7 seas, and everywhere I turned, there was only yearning. But I tried Googling it, and literally nothing comes up. So I have no idea where that came from. It's far too good to have been something I wrote myself.
Weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
Very strange.
Well, if you know where that quote comes from, please tell us.
If you've ever heard that before, let us know. I would love to know where I got that from. Okay, so if I was robbed or lost the money, I didn't think my return to the castle would be much fun. I liked walking in the citadel, the easy cheer and bustle of city life. I liked to get out of the keep sometimes, though I hadn't had much chance recently. I started slightly as a dog ran across my path, followed by a skinny, raggedy child. The image called up memories of Vari, glaring at me in the dim light of a cell. I shrugged off my musings as to where she might be as I saw the sign of the hammer and anvil outside Gary's Ford. That was a real string of like, okay, I saw a raggedy child. Oh, Vari, oh, I'm here.
That was great.
Yeah.
Thanks for filling us in.
Cool.
Cool story.
Cool story, yeah. Again, another cool story, bro.
Yeah.
Kind of moment. It's like, what does this mean? Late as it was, Gary was still working as I pushed open the door. The room was warm after the cool evening air, and I could feel the warm filling me like a warm drink of brandy.
Okay, it's warm.
It's just a lot
The
of
warmth
warm.
is warming you.
I'm warm in the warm.
You, so you feel warm.
The warm is warm.
Yeah.
The warm is warm in the warm, and it made me feel warm like a warm drink of brandy.
Sure.
Also, usually I would say a forge would be quite hot.
Yes.
Given that there is a
A
forge in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's hot enough to melt metal,
Pretty hot.
it's probably more than warm brandy.
Yeah.
I grinned at Gary, standing over the blazing forge, his face drenched in sweat. Upon seeing me, he dropped the horseshoe he was making into a bucket of cold water and came over, wiping his hands on his filthy leather apron and mopping his face with a rag. Another really long sentence. Well, hello, Cori. What brings you here? She's said before that she's often sent down to give him his payment. Like, what else would she be there for? I've got your last payment, I explained, tossing him the coins. Then leaning on a huge iron anvil, my ankles crossed. Oh, she's settling in for a bit of chit-chat.
Yeah. Well, it's a father figure, so...
Oh, that's true, that's true.
Yeah,
She did say that.
Yeah.
He put the purse down on his workbench, then looked up and smiled at me. He seemed about to say something, when the boy I'd run into on the parapet that morning came in, then stopped short at the sight of me.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. He smiled crookedly at me, and I was struck, again, by how good-looking he was.
Oh. Love it first thought.
Cute. I smiled back. Hi.
Hasn't changed.
Woody Vampire.
Witty.
Where have you been, lad? Demanded Gary gruffly, hunching his huge shoulders. Oh, the young man pulled a face. I, got distracted? By what exactly? Well, there was this lass, and I didn't... Don't even start, lad. I don't want to know.
He's a
bit of a
fuckboy.
lady
Yeah.
A bit of a fuckboy. Out there. He also seems like a shit apprentice.
Yeah.
Like, he's always
Stuffs
picking
the
up the
swords up,
swords.
running late, never shows
Running
up.
late, giving away random swords to random thieves
Random
as
pretty
well.
girls.
Yeah. Maybe Vari was the last.
I'm pretty sure she is. I think I remember that being a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. Plot thickens. Gary rolled his eyes slightly. Lad, this is Cori, or Cori M to you rascal.
You rascal.
You wee rascal. Cori, lass, this is Bran, my apprentice. You watch him, lassie. He's got a silver tongue and a taste for ladies to match. Alright.
Oh boy.
Bran blushed furiously at this.
Does he have a silver tongue though? Because all we've heard him do is like, hi.
Hi.
You're a pretty girl. Hi. I get to see the silver tongue.
Yeah. You can't just say a thing.
It makes sense.
It makes sense. Bran blushed furiously at this, and I looked down, feeling the tips of my ears go a bit pink. Oh, nice to meet you, I managed to stutter, smiling shyly. Yeah, he blushed harder. You too.
Oh, it's still my beating heart.
I know, the flow, the silvery tongue.
Yeah, just so smooth.
So smooth. So, lass, Gary interrupted, smoothly changing the subject. Is that smooth?
Is that smooth? Yeah.
How's things going at the keep? Queen treating you well? I felt a faint start in my gut. Did Gary know? Who else knew she was my mother? I felt my...
That's the other thing. Vari drops this big bomb, and Cori's not like, hey, how did you know that?
Yeah, how the fuck did you know that?
Yeah, she's just like,
And doesn't seem to have given it a second thought.
No.
Like, she was standing there watching her leave and was like, oh, there goes my friend. But at no point was she like, how the fuck did she know? Like, she knows my secret and she's wandering off into the city.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been a point to mention that, maybe?
Yeah.
Just too worried about boys. Did Gary know? Who else knew she was my mother? I felt my fingers tighten involuntarily in the folds of my tunic. Fine, I replied shortly, then regretted it. I shrugged and smiled, trying to lighten my tone. I don't see her much. I keep to the stables as much as I can, and she stays in the keep. Busy life being a queen. Hard on a woman, I'd say, and with a husband like that.
Oh.
He left the thought unfinished, but Bran leant forward slightly. Interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why she was sleeping with the elf.
Because he was a douche.
Yeah, because maybe her husband sucks.
Yeah.
Like maybe the king's an asshole.
Yeah, maybe.
Like what? There was a faint crease between his dark brows. I carefully studied a pair of heavy metal tongs. Not now, laddie. Not now. He cast me a worried glance, but managed a slight smile. Why would Cori care about this?
Well, I suppose she's up there all the time. Maybe they're worried if they diss the king, she'll
Dob him in.
dub him in.
But if he's like a father figure to her, like,
Yeah.
would she do that?
I don't know.
I don't know. We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know what she's like, actually.
We know nothing.
Oh yeah. I really feel like Cori is completely like a nothing burger. So far.
She's real passive.
Like
She's just wandering around,
I don't
doing what she's
really
told.
have a sense of like
who she
who
is.
she is.
Yeah, at least Vari, she's psychotic, but we know it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She's got a
She's got a massive chip on her shoulder.
personality sucks,
Yeah.
but she has one.
Yeah.
Whereas Cori is just a bit like, I don't know, she's sort of
Just a wet
there.
blanket. Yeah.
kind of wander around
Yeah.
doing stuff,
Yeah.
but like she's not really much of anything, really.
No.
He cast me a worried glance, but I managed a slight smile. Well, I need to be getting back. It's late. Oh, Will.
Oh, Will.
Oh, Will. I'll see you next time I'm up at the castle. Be well, lass. Gary smiled warmly as I pulled my cloak around me. You too. Nice to meet you, Bran. I nodded at him. I seem to have had some confusion about how I spelt this boy's name, actually.
Oh, really?
Because in this
How many
instance-
different ways can you spell it?
Oh, I had two N's.
Oh,
Bran.
okay.
I nodded at him, then left before he could reply. Once outside, I leant against the cool stone wall, my eyes tight shut. I hadn't expected the mention of Norella would still affect me so much. It's only been a week, my girl. She's your mother. I took a deep breath, trying to calm the feelings of betrayal and anger, and other things that I couldn't describe. Some other feeling, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm feeling lots of things.
I don't know,
Yeah,
there was some
don't wanna
feeling.
waste your time telling you about them.
It hurt in my chest
Oh.
that I'd been lied to all my life. I shook myself. It was dark and I had to get back to the keep. I had no time for self-pity.
Oh,
So
well,
there's always
it
time
sounds like
for
you've got a lot of
self-pity.
time for self-pity.
There is always time for self-pity, Cori. I set off down the darkened street, my cloak pulled close around me, my head down against the drizzle that had resumed with the fall of night. I had walked a few blocks before I noticed I was being followed. I didn't know when he had started tailing me, but he was making me distinctly nervous. I paused at the corner, looking back, and then turned around to crash into a huge barrel-shaped chest. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, I squeaked in surprise as he grinned at me. I'm sorry. He grabbed my wrist as I tried to back away. I let out a strangled sob as someone else grabbed my arm and a huge hand clapped across my mouth. I tried to scream, but I couldn't get enough breath. Suddenly, I hit the ground hard. The cobbles were cold and hard. Stars danced before my vision. I kicked out...
I'm just going to let the
20-minute...
Yeah.
I kicked out blindly and was rewarded by a bout of swearing. I felt hot breath in my ear. I began to panic. Oh dear. Okay. So trigger warning.
Oh Jesus.
Here already. We are 24 pages in.
God. Okay.
So yes, a trigger warning for what appears to be about to be a sexual assault.
Oh dear.
Right here, right now. So if that is something that is going to upset you, I would skip ahead the next couple of minutes.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
24 pages in.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay, here we go. Let's just get through this. This is very unpleasant. I felt hot breath in my ear. I began to panic as someone ripped open my breeches. His whole weight was on my chest, and I couldn't get enough breath to make any sound. I could feel him fumbling with his own breeches, his breathing heavy, foul with the reek of alcohol. The same thoughts battered around my head. No, not like this. Not now. Toria, I'm so scared. I was sobbing desperately now, and my whole body hurt, and I was cold. I shut my eyes, sucked in as much air as I could in my current position, and screamed with all my might. And that is the end of the chapter.
Well, that's
Yeah.
not nice.
I suspect that someone's going to rescue her.
I hope so. Yes.
Maybe Vari?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I was thinking Vari.
Yeah. Although she's not, I mean, well, I guess we don't know how far she got from the forge, because it could be a case of Bran sweeping in to, you know,
save the day.
Save the day.
Silver tongue.
Rescue. He's apparently silver tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know this is kind of a trope, unfortunately, in fantasy stories.
Yeah.
But like, ick.
Ick. Yeah, this is really giving me the ick.
Yeah.
I don't like this story.
I'm already like, ooh.
Ugh.
Ooh.
Ugh.
Yeah. On a lighter note, I have some marginalia to
Okay, cool.
get off that gross ending to the chapter. It's just, so high school. I've written, why do I feel like everyone's pissed at me?
Oh, probably because everyone was. I imagine it was high school.
And you've written,
oh no!
probably because they are.
Oh.
But I'm not.
My Vari is showing.
So like, thanks.
Yeah, they are angry at you, but I'm not. What that was about?
It could have been literal anything.
That's so funny.
We were in English class.
English.
Yeah.
Who knows what that was about?
Yeah, who knows what that was about. It could have been any number of things. I was always getting in trouble from our friends. Being a bit tactless. Probably.
Well, clearly I wasn't much better.
Well, yes. Your characters is definitely.
Yeah.
So, well, yeah, that was a chapter. Again, Cori just kind of being there.
Yeah.
She's, again, very passive.
Super passive.
She's just kind of...
Things are just happening to her.
Things are just happening to her.
She's just doing as she's told.
Yeah. Kind of. And still just like, given she's somebody who's just had like a major shock to her whole worldview, I just really have no idea like who she is.
What she's doing with that
What
information.
she's doing with that
She
information.
just seems to be just going about her daily life.
Yeah.
Just like, clean stables.
Yeah, or like brush down horses, I guess, is what she seems to do.
To the dude.
Yeah.
Pay her bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
There's not much there.
No, she's not much of anything. And now she's damseling
Damseling
all over the place.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
That was, what a chat to the end on.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, cool. Anyway,
Come back next week.
Yeah, come back next week. Please.
Please.
Yikes. Okay, well.
Moving right along.
Right along.
I guess we'll find out if she gets rescued next episode.
Next episode.
And yeah, we'll move right along to other things.
We were frightful.
Yeah.
Okay. Musical interlude. Awkward. Oh my god.
Oh, the cringe. Okay. Okay, so now it is time for what we read. We talk about what we read.
Alright.
What have you read?
I read a book.
Yay!
Yay! I read.
You really struggle with
I
this.
can read, guys. Did you know?
Why do you find this so
I
hard?
read things. I don't know why. So what I read.
Oh my god, just tell us what it's called.
It's The Secret Runners of New York by Matthew Riley.
Great, we got that.
And I was quite disappointed.
Oh no.
Yeah. So as you may remember, one of my favorite books, my comfort reads, is one of Matthew Riley's books.
Yep.
It's Hover Racer.
Yep.
Fucking love that book. Read it every year. Admittedly, it's not the best written book, but
Sure.
it's entertaining. It's well put together. It's got great pacing, great plot, and all that sort of stuff. So it's good. I like it. So I was kind of expecting a little bit of that. So this is another YA book. Matthew Riley is one of those authors that just kind of
writes
everything. Whatever. Yeah, tries his hand at everything. So I can respect that. So this is The Secret Runners of New York, and basically it's so set in present day, although its present day I think was 2018, 2019, and ironically it was before COVID, but basically the what's happened is someone has predicted a total apocalypse. Some sort of, I don't know, asteroid from the sky or gamma cloud or something like that is going to wipe out the world on March 17th or something.
Okay.
And it starts a few months before this. So there's that pretty much from early on. And then there is also this other element where there is basically a tunnel under New York that is like a portal to the future.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Okay.
And so the main character and the characters basically run through this tunnel. Because the tunnel's underground, they can't really sort of get out, basically, because the tunnel at each end is blocked.
Yep.
But there is a well, and so they can theoretically climb out, which they kind of do eventually to have a look at the world beyond, and it's after the apocalypse,
right?
Essentially.
Okay.
So the main character wasn't great.
It's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, she was very much I think a little bit is. I don't think Matthew Riley can really write
women very well.
No.
That's a shame.
Especially teenage
young
girls.
Yeah.
It takes it's
Yeah.
they're a whole other breed, man.
Yeah.
As
we're discovering.
as we're discovering, exactly. So I think there's a little bit of that, but she's very much she's so different because
not like other girls.
Absolutely not like other girls trope, because she's smart and she wants to be an engineer, and she's doesn't care about boys, but she kind of does.
But yeah.
And then all the other friends all they care about is gossip and shopping, and they're the rich elite as well.
Okay.
So there's a lot of this is all about kill capitalism and stuff. So she's absolutely rich, but she's money. So she's
so
cool.
she's a hypocrite.
Yeah, so she's cool because she's I have money, but ugh.
But I don't really care about
Yeah,
it.
exactly. It doesn't mean anything to me. I still have a job, which I don't need. I just want pocket money. That's basically what it comes down to.
Taking a job from somebody who really needs
Yeah,
it.
exactly. So yeah, I didn't like that. The pacing was really odd as well, which surprised me because the pacing in his other books is quite good. It's usually quite exciting.
Yeah, action packed.
But this, what it felt like actually, it felt like I was reading a summary of a much larger book.
Oh.
It was so much plot, but not enough book.
Yeah.
So it just felt like I was reading dot points.
Yeah, I hate that. It's
and
and then this happened, and then this happened,
Yeah,
and then this
yeah.
happened.
And I think I made a, because I write notes now, I made a comment halfway through it, I'm like, I still feel like I'm in the introduction of this book.
The story hasn't actually started yet.
Yeah. And also there was this weird thing, like, so the main character is, I think, a twin. She has a brother. I think it's a twin brother. And like the first half of the book, it almost felt like he should have been the main character because he actually found the tunnel first.
Right.
He got in with a friend group that showed them the tunnels first.
Right.
Like it was all like happening to Red.
Yeah.
And
not to her.
Yeah. And I was like, maybe we should read about him.
Yeah.
Because he sounds more interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just not his finest work, unfortunately.
That's a shame.
So yeah.
It's bugger.
Okay. But yeah, moving on.
Can't all be winners.
Can't all be winners, yeah, exactly. And you know, he's one of those writers that just like, I'm just going to try writing this. Like he'll write a series and just like, I'm going to try and write this.
Yeah.
So yeah, hats off to him.
Yeah.
Don't think he pulled this one off, unfortunately.
No. Oh.
Yeah. No. What about you? What are you reading?
Funnily enough, I have a kind of similar review.
Oh, really?
Yes. So, you may remember last year I reviewed a book that I really, really love called The Will of the Many by James Islington, who's an Australian author. Because I love that book so much, I've picked up one of his other series. This was his debut series.
Oh.
The first books that he read was this fantasy trilogy. So the book that I'm reviewing is the first one of the trilogy called The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. I haven't read the rest of the series yet, so I've just read the first one. So I don't know, maybe
it gets better.
Maybe it gets better. What I found really interesting about this book is having read his later work and then gone back and read his earlier work, boy, he's got better.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah. Interesting.
The Will of the Many was so well written. Like, it was the kind of book where you vanish into the writing. Like, it's like you aren't reading anymore. You're just kind of living it. And he has the kind of writing style. Like, you know, some writers, it's like you notice their writing because it's so good.
Yeah.
His writing is very invisible.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not, you know, that beautiful kind of prose where you're like, this is like poetry, you know.
Yeah.
You just don't notice it.
Yeah.
It's just unobtrusive and you just kind of enjoy it. The Shadow of What Was Lost, unfortunately, he obviously hadn't got there yet.
Yeah.
And it was just interesting because I did not notice his writing at all in The Will of the Many. And there's quite a few things in The Shadow of What Was Lost that I'm finding a little jarring and that are like pulling me out a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm just finding myself going, oh, you've said that a lot.
Yeah.
Or, you know, oh, that's a weird way to phrase that.
Yeah.
Or, you know, just stuff that I'm like, I don't know about that.
Just
pulls you out of the story.
Yeah.
So I'm really not getting sucked into it, which is a shame. It's bad. It is a bit more of a traditional fantasy sort of novel. It starts with this character Davian, who's at this school, trying to learn how to use essence, which is kind of the magic in this world, and he can't do it. So he's got these like trials coming up, and if you fail the trials, you get your essence stripped out, and you become what's called a shadow, who are kind of like looked down on, and they kind of act as servants and all of that kind of stuff. And it's kind of set in this world where the gifted who can use essence previously were in control, and then there seems to have been a war, and then those who were not gifted won the war, and put these extremely strict laws into place that basically have subjugated the gifted. So they can't use magic against the non-gifted ever under any circumstances, even for self-defense. They can't harm a non-gifted ever under any circumstances except for self. Like, there's a whole bunch of rules and stuff. So basically, Davian, he is gifted, but he can't use essence, and so he's going to fail his trials and become a shadow. Everyone's real stressed about it. And then someone comes into the school one night and is like, the reason that you can't use essence is because you're what's called an augur, who were like kind of like gifted, but they had different powers, so they could like see the future and shit. And they were all killed off in the war.
Right.
And so it's like super dangerous that he's an augur, because if they find out, then they'll kill him. So off he goes on an adventure with his best friend, who turns out to be a prince, and like there's a whole thing. So they go off on this adventure, and everybody's lying to them, and everything they thought was true is not true, and like it's obviously spiraling up into this sort of massive war against the bad guys and everything. And you know, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it's not as good as the other book.
Yeah.
And it's just very interesting that even this published author
it's good.
who has written like their big books, you know, a big 3-book trilogy that was very widely acclaimed and like, you know, it was very like popular, very well reviewed, has then written this other book and it is so much better. He has improved so much. And it'll be interesting to see if his writing improves over the course of this trilogy.
Yeah.
Or if like, you know, if he kind of wrote this all at once and then has sort of, I don't know, practiced in the meantime. Or I don't know if he's written anything else in between these two. I'd have to look that up. But yeah, it was very interesting. So yeah, don't not like it. But it's just
not quite as good,
and not kind of what I was hoping for, I guess, when I picked up another of his books and was like, here we go. And I was like, oh, this is not what the other book was. But, you know, I'll stick with it and I'll check back in when I finish the trilogy and let you all know how it went.
Cool.
So yeah, that's me.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Alrighty. Alright, well, we'll leave that there this week. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Apologies for the extremely dark turn.
Yes.
This took.
Real early. I'm a little bit worried about the next 3 books.
Yeah. Maybe we need a content warning.
Yeah. Anyway, if you want to reach out to us, you can. So we are on the social medias. The social medias, which is Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, at What We Wrote Podcast. And we have an email address if you want to get in touch with us, which would be lovely. That is whatwewrotepod@gmail.com.
And we also have a Tumblr, What We Wrote Podcast on Tumblr. So you can find us there.
We have a Tumblr on Tumblr.
We have a Tumblr on Tumblr.
You can find it on Tumblr.
You can find our Tumblr on Tumblr.
Yep.
It's where we tumble.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway.
You know, tell your friends about us.
Yes.
And rate, review, subscribe.
All that sort of stuff.
All those things.
That's the best way to support the podcast, getting more people to listen to us.
Exactly. People on podcasts tell you to do that because it really actually
helps.
does
actually help. And yeah, you know, if you like it, chances are your friends will like it.
Yes, and it's really hard to get new listeners unless people tell people
yeah, so
to listen to it.
Don't hoard it to yourself. Don't be selfish.
Share the love.
Yeah.